Hi, in this video we're going to talking about how to use the character cache and render the hair with the Arnold ASS. Let's first open our example file, the sample 18, the character cache here ASS1. And here you can see that this is since we continue from the previous video. So if you want to know the detail of how we created this file, you can review the previous video. For the first step, we need to place our agents and to make sure the frame range is first to 230 and create the agent cache. We already filled this content in the previous video, so that should be correct, and click the make agent cache. And the second step, we need to convert this agent cache to the character cache and convert that, and making sure you filled correct the cache folder. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, we needed to enable this agent cache and convert that. And then at this time we needed to deplace our agents and enable the character cache and specify, for example, 2. You can see that the agents can be playback interactively. Please making sure you are in the legacy viewport, the default quality rendering, instead of the viewport 2, because the viewport 2 has some problems for this feature. So let's just use the legacy viewport, and making sure the character cache is correct, 10, for example. So everything is correct, and let's disable this and click this and create a hair on the head. So let's hide the original agent bone shapes, and also we can hide the physics joint. So let's create a hair. Just to make it a simple example, let's click F8 and switch from point to the face and select some of the polygons here. And here we need to switch to the in here and click this button, and from the grid to change to the add the selected surface and the point, so the hair can be created onto the selected faces here, and I'll leave that default to make this smaller value, for example 5. The default is 10. Okay, and click create hair. So you can see that some hairs has been created. Let's click Ctrl Z and let's create again with collide with mesh option enabled and create a hair. So let's run a simulation. So you can see that the hair has been created, and let's click the F8 again so that we can select it, just like this. And let's test that with our renderer, the Arnold, and render that. Oh, there's no light inside of the scene. Let's create a default light. The light, the directional light. I don't know why the Arnold still not provide the default light. That should be okay, and let's render it. Everything is correct now, and let's just use the character cache and drive the origin agent and export the render content of the hair, the frame, and one by one of agent, and then they import that back. So let's do that. And here in my army, in the character cache, and enable that to the first, and just to do some tests and reset. Now you can see that the hair can be simulated correctly. And then let's export the render contents for that with our Arnold in the stand-in ASS file. The most important thing is we need to select the head, select the hair, and make sure we are in the Arnold mode, and specify the star agent ID to the 1 from the 1 to the 10, and specify the export folder E drive ABC Arnold ASS, and the export name should be for example test. Okay, and please remember, select the here, this is very important, and click the export. You can see that this folder is not existed in here, so we just needed to click the OK for creating this folder. And there are some of the confirmation information here: the start frame, end frame, and the start agent and end agent. And do you want to proceed? And we needed to click continue if we selected here. This is very important. So you can see that the simulation is for each one of the agents, the one by one, and the selected parts, the hair, will be exported to the ASS file onto the hard disk. So the last one. And after this, let's disable this and click this button, so you can see that this is a return back to the origin. And what I'm gonna do is pretty much keep the unchange and click this import, so you can see that some of the transform node has been imported, and these are actually the hair, the ASS node, shape node, and this is test. And when we click this and click Control A, you can see that we already connected this the file we exported to this folder and back to the scene, and we already also connected the frames range here and do some tests. So at this time, when you render your scene, let's see what will happen. And you can see that this transform node is actually the ASS file we created and linked it, and this here has been rendered out for each one of the frames. So you can use this method and the character cache to export and import the render content of the hair and render it. This is very simple. And finally, you can delete the hair from the original one and render the agent by the regular method and a combination with this ASS file inside of your scene, and then everything should be fine. So let's render that again. So everything is cool. So this is our introduction of how to use the character cache and work with the Arnold ASS to render your hair. Thank you for watching. See you next time.